Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome on the Culture News. My name is David Serero, and I have the pleasure to have today on Zoom and also on the audio to have the lovely, the most amazing, the most gorgeous, the most talented. I just love that woman. That's it. I just love that woman. The one and only Candace Maxwell. Candace, how are you?
I'm great, David. That's like such an intro. Thank you for giving me all the confidence I need for like the rest of the year.
Listen, for you, I can go on for years. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my
As a matter of fact,
goodness.
I might have to extend my visa to tell you all the compliments I have to tell you. You know what I mean?
Uh,
So you have no idea how much I wanted to do that interview. I think I called maybe 50 times your PR publicist in LA, but they are
yes.
so adorable. I want to give them a big shout out. So thank you so
Good.
much for
Yes.
doing that. So you're really killing it everywhere. I am so happy. I just had the best time of my life watching you in the new Tyler Perry. I love to say that, the new Tyler Perry. I just love this man. Uh,
Right.
Tyler Perry's A Medea Homecoming. Man, I laughed so
Mhm.
much throughout the whole movie. It was unbelievable. I think I love to say,
Yeah.
every time he releases something, I always tell him this is his best. But this one really had something really special that took it again to another level. We're going to talk about all of that. But first, I have a question for you, my dear Candace.
Okay.
Who are you?
Oh my gosh, such a fun question. Oh my, like, how do you answer that? By trade, at the moment, I'm an actress. I'm a dancer. My astrological sign is Cancer. Um, I feel like I'm just a regular girl in the world figuring it out. But, I have a true passion for the arts, and I'm lucky enough to be a working actress now, especially now during COVID or whatever this new world is, to be working as an actress. What a dream come true. So that's what I am. I'm a working gal.
And we're so happy that you're working. First of all, there's no way that a talent like yourself wouldn't be working all around. Actually, we should see more of you, but that's only my opinion. I want
Thank you,
I want
David.
I want to see you in every movies, in every TV series in the world.
Thank you. Let's manifest that. Let's make that
You know what I mean?
happen.
That's what I want. Just leave one or two roles for me. Sometimes.
Got you. Okay. Easy.
So you started. So you were born in New York City.
Yes.
You right away moved to Atlanta, which, by the way, and thanks a lot to Tyler Perry. He turned
Hmm.
that city into one of the most sought after city for actors.
For
Uh,
film, yeah, truly.
Absolutely. But
Truly.
you started, first of all, your first generation Caribbean American actress and dancer. So big shout out to all the beautiful Caribbean people in this beautiful country. And now I know your secret of beauty. So now we know it's from Caribbean.
Thank you.
Now we know. Now we know. So tell us about, how did you got involved into the acting, and how did you start your career? I think you started also as a dancer.
Yeah, so I started really young in this business. Just coincidentally, there was a family friend in the neighborhood. She approached my mom. I played with her daughter, and she was like, "Your daughter, one, is beautiful, but she has like this natural energy. Why don't you try to send her out on auditions? Like, I can get you those auditions." And I was dancing like really young, like at age 5. I was in ballet, I was in modern, I was always dancing. I had a very vibrant upbringing, which I would say there was lots of music and lots of house parties. I think that's just like a Caribbean thing. But then traveling with my mom from Queens into Manhattan, and going to auditions and just like getting into that world, I became a performing arts kid. I went to performing arts school my whole life, and it just became a way of life for me. So it's what I've always done, and I truly love it. And I think the arts, a lot of people are big on sports or academics. I think academics are very important, but like when a child has a niche, it's so good to feed that. And my mom saw that in me, and she was like, I'm going to feed this to her. So whatever classes, whatever program she could get me into, I was there.
Wow, and big shout out to your mom, and to what, to all the moms of the artists who are sacrificing really their lives, their hobbies, their free time to go to take their kids to New York City to audition, to wait in the room, and you know what, most of the time, how many times when my dad took me to an audition, and my dad, was a little bit angry at me, and then after I told him, that's your fault, I didn't get the role because you were not nice.
Oh my gosh, so silly.
You know what I mean? So it's really big shout out to your mom, and thank you, mommy, thank you. So fast forwarding to all the great things you've done, there is this great TV series, Insatiable, in 2019. Then we arrived to, I think, a big thing, Power. I mean, hello, Power, with the part of Cassandra Haynes. You did quite a lot of episodes, and your performance there was like mind blowing. Like, you can really just
It's crazy because everybody says that, like, what? But you have to realize that was my first role out of acting school. So I was previously really focused on dancing. I was touring with different recording artists, which again was amazing because I got the best seat in the house. I got to dance around the world with these big stars and be on huge stages. And that was a dream of mine, to travel the world and connect with so many people. But then I went back to acting school. So literally right after graduating, I booked Power. And for that to have been the first thing that I booked outside of school, I mean, my jaw was on the floor. Like, it didn't feel real to me. And the fact that people still remember that role and still talk about it to this day, it makes me so happy. I'm like, I did my job really well. And that means a lot to me. Yeah.
Yeah, not only that, but I think also the TV series in its own was a game changer. The way that it was brought. I mean, Tyler Perry, we owe him so much to take, I would say, to bring this narrative, this Black narrative, and to bring it to the broad audience. It was simply genius. And in there, he put all his personality, his intelligence, his talent, his greatness, his, I call it the Oprah Winfrey moment, like the hallelujah moment,
Yeah.
And the gospel, the church. I mean, just, you haven't done anything in your life if you haven't gone to an African-American church on a Sunday.
Right.
I mean, honestly, I am so inspired. There is that preacher that I always watch on TikTok, and the guy goes, I don't know if you saw it, the guy said, you cannot be my best friend overnight. You want to take a selfie? I take a selfie with you, but you cannot be my best friend overnight until you suffered with me, until you be there for me. Until, you know what I mean? Like, people carry you so much. So your performance in Power was simply mind-blowing, and I still watch it to this day. And you brought something new, because the way you capture not only the light, the way you brought your speech was so much natural, was something that, I mean, we have seen from a handful of actresses, and you brought it to another level. And I think the fact that you're a dancer on the side kind of helped you, because you were like, as a dancer, you're not acting, you were like very natural. And I think that's what helped you. So that goes to my question. Do you think that the fact that you're a dancer helped you to be the great actress that you are?
Thank you, David. Thank you for calling me a great actress. Again, I'm on this journey, and I am a great actress. Thank you. I'm going to own that. And I'm on my way to growing and continuing that journey. But being a dancer has 100% informed that. It's given me, dancing has always given me a sense of confidence and freedom, authority over my body. Like, I know my body, I know myself. And then to know myself deeply on that level, I can then take what I know and bring it to each of these characters, and it gives me this freedom and this, I feel like at times a lot of actors, no offense, just preference, can be a little stiff. So I think that being a dancer just allows me to have a little bit more breath and ease in my body and just relate to people. So yeah.
Yeah, and in some end, I mean, maybe it's me, I'm biased because I'm such a huge fan of you, but I have the feeling that when you say your lines, there is a tempo, there is a beat that I kind of never heard before. I heard that in Will Smith, interestingly enough. I heard that in Cicely Tyson. I heard that, but there is some sort of in Whoopi Goldberg also, there is some sort of a beat that the line is always moving, somehow. I don't know if you think about it when you do it, or I mean, you're a God-given gift. What do you know? But do you think about all this stuff when you have a script? You like walking in the room, practicing your lines, so that you get as you will get the music implemented in your body as a dancer. I suppose I'm not, as you can say,
you know what? That's like spot on. I'm like, did you go to acting school? Funny enough, like, that's something, there's so many ways to create a character or to find the role or the lines or whatever it is. There's so many ways. And I think that's where the creativity comes in with being an actor, is that you can do whatever you need to do to enter this role and to make it real and authentic. But something about the rhythm and musicality is really, I like thinking about it in that term as well. And we did a lot of that in voice class, believe it or not. So you are spot on with tempo and rhythm. Each character, characters have people. If you watch people, like you're doing it right now, people have different cadences. So it's nice to listen and find it.
Well, definitely. And you succeeded. And then before we arrive to Madea, because I really want to talk about it, there are two great projects that I really, really want to talk about. It's Katie Keene, wonderful series that you did in 2020. And I have the feeling that you were so at home there. That's you were first so good in it. All the other actors in it are absolutely wonderful. Can you tell me your experience when you did that great project, and also what is it about?
Oh, Katie Keene was so special. So it was a spinoff of the Riverdale franchise, and it starred Lucy Hale, a great, wonderful, talented, young, beautiful cast. We were in New York City, and it's about 4 artists and their struggle to create a life for themselves in New York City. And it was so relatable doing that show, because I myself, in my 20s, early 20s, as soon as I finished high school, moved back to New York City and was grinding and hustling and trying to figure out how to make this dream a reality. So I could relate to those characters, and it was just so fun. Like, New York City was our playground shooting that film. Like, I got to shoot at the Plaza Hotel. We were at this really cool warehouse in Jamaica, Queens. And it was like one of the first times I got to work with other actors who were my age, which was really nice, and hang out. And they would have like parties for us to get together, and just there was a camaraderie built on that. And that was really, really cool.
Wow, back in my days, there were parties not to get together, Please don't get together at all. We do a party about that.
No, they wanted us to be friends. They wanted that authenticity between us. And I think that's why it translated well. Some good people on that show.
And it did. And the talents is amazing. And I hope we're going to see more of it. Now we fast forwarding to another great TV series. You're always on the good project. And I believe it's kind of your first collaboration with Tyler Perry, because it was done at Tyler Perry's studio. It is All the Queen's Men. And you say DJ Dime.
Yes.
So there you are. The music is back. The music, you're absolutely amazing. As a matter of fact, I have a friend of mine who is in the TV series. You were in all the 10 episodes. Like you were really, really one of the main character, one of the lead characters. So I mean, all the time. But this one that was like you were all over the place. That was really amazing. I was so happy. And again, shout out to Tyler Perry because this guy, I wish, you know, if one day I would have 1% of him, but he has a way of going to take the talents, you know what I mean? Like really at places and give opportunities and give chances to people. And I mean, I just love him, what he's doing. And he's bringing the whole American culture, you know, because he's showcasing stories and narrative and talents that we wish we could see more, you know, but he understood that the problem was that you need stories to be related to these characters, you know.
Wow.
He filled up that gap so beautifully. And I want to say, Tyler Perry, thank you for all you're doing, but also thank you for bringing Candace Maxwell. You know what I mean? You know, thank you. It was about time. Hello, but okay.
Hello.
You know, so tell us about your experience first working for the God himself, Tyler Perry, you know, and also, you know, your role in that great experience, which, by the way, Mazel Tov got renewed for a second season. Did I, the little
Yes.
person speak well? Okay, tell
Yes.
us about all of that, my dear.
Well, yes, we are renewed for a second season. So All the Queen's Men is based on a book written by Mr. Christian Keys, who's also one of the creators and writers on this show, Ladies' Night. So All the Queen's Men is set in a male exotic nightclub, and it's ran by Madame DeVille, played by Eva Marcel. And she runs this club, she runs these men, and it's just like this place where women can come and have all that debaucherous fun and let loose the same way that men have access to doing that when they go to strip clubs. So it's definitely not a show for kids, but it's so fun. You feel like you're in the club, and I'm the DJ. So I am Madame's protege. She's teaching me to run the club and become a businesswoman and, you know, franchise and build up and work at some other clubs and own them. But I'm also the DJ. So I set the tone for the club and the vibe, and I know that place inside and out. So, you know, the show is it's like filled with big surprises. I will say there's like, you know, it's like almost like a little mafia family, believe it or not, set in this sexy nightclub world. So it's exciting and it's fun, and season 2 is going to be bigger and better and badder, and that's on BET Plus streaming now. So season 1 is available for everybody to catch up, because season 2 is coming in hot. You know, but, and then working with Tyler, who, again, we filmed that during the height of the pandemic. We were quarantined. We stayed on his lot. The actors, the talent, everybody lived there. So it felt like I was in college again. I was like, wow, I went to college for like a year and dropped out. So I got that experience, and it was just so cool. So for him to even have that environment, such a safe environment for us to work, was a dream come true. Yeah.
Wow.
That man's a boss, man. What a boss.
No, but that was really he invested, even he sent private jet to all the actors to come to be on the set, you know, and not, you know, just the big roles, you know, also some day players. And I mean, he is amazing. And now we are going to this masterpiece of comedy. I really mean that. It is hilarious. I was laughing so much, you know. It's bringing you to humor that that it feels good, you know. It's, you know, I'm so glad, by the way, it's on Netflix and not in movie theaters also, because you can watch it at home and you can laugh your own way at stuff that maybe you wouldn't dare to laugh, you know, if you're surrounded with other people. But I watch it, I was laughing the whole time. And again, a lot of great things. Of course, I'm talking about Tyler Perry's a Madea Homecoming, Tyler
Mm-hmm.
Perry's a Madea Homecoming, which is now on Netflix. So please go and see. It was number 5 at some point, if not
I
number.
mean, we were like 1, we were 3, we were 5, but the fact that we even made it to the top 10 on Netflix, which is crazy because Netflix is a global audience. So this is the first time that a Madea film was on Netflix, that it was presented to a global audience. Like you said, people could sit home, whether they're in front of their, in their bed watching or with their family in their living room. It's like everybody has access to it. And that was amazing for us to hit number 1 that first weekend that it dropped. And like you said, for Black stories, for it to be presented on a global platform and to have reached number 1 is like, I mean, amazing, and like you said, one of the goals of Tyler was to bring Black stories and share them, and he achieved that, and I got to be a part of an amazing franchise. There's the Marvel franchise and there's the Madea franchise.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the whole Tyler Perry is a franchise on its own, But
Right.
oh yeah, he's amazing. But that one was on top of that very, very special. And as you said, he brought, amazing story, and he brought humor, like back in the days you had the Mel Brooks Jewish humor, and Mel Brooks was good to bring the Jewish humor to all America. And Tyler is so smart to bring these amazing Black comedy, which we knew back with Eddie Murphy with his movies, and Richard Pryor, and rest his soul, and all these great comedians. And what he did was so funny. I think it's one of the first time that I rewinded the scene to watch it again 2 or 3 times,
Oh, good.
Oh man, I couldn't hold it when he's behind the girl and he goes, look at me, look at my face, look, when he went that, I was like in tears. I was laughing so much. And he brings issues that are so important. And I want to congratulate you really from the bottom of my heart for embodying the part of Ellie, which is spelled Ellie, who is a police officer, right? And the way you portrayed and what you said was so important, and how he brought all these, because it was after, the post BLM and all of that, and I mean, not post, it's ongoing thing, unfortunately, I want to say. But what I want to say is that there was all these things happen, but he was so smart the way he brought it, because let's not forget that a lot, and this is why what you did was so important, a lot of the Black police officers are also Black. Let's not forget it, that these people are risking their lives. Very often I see on Twitter the photo of a Black officer who died on duty to save kids, to save elderly person, regardless of their skin colors. And it was so important what you have done. And I really, really want to thank you for it. And aside of the fact that your performance was absolutely amazing, and you're so gorgeous in it, as always, but I would love to know, how was it for you to do that part?
Well, again, I think, like you said, Tyler is a master at weaving in these heavy social issues into a comedic film. So for me, I'm like, oh, there's a little pressure here, to make sure that this comes across and is clear, and that people receive this message that we do need police officers, and there are strong Black, beautiful male and female, regardless of gender, police officers out here to protect us and make the world a better place. That's why they signed up for this job. We see the inequalities in our community and we want to do better. So how do we move forward? And it's not by defunding the police, it's by reforming it, it's by making it better. It's about community, it's about building, and it's like, how do we reverse the damage, and how do we stop this violence? And obviously we didn't get too deep into it because of the context of the film. It's a comedy, but the fact that we were able to touch on it and that people can watch this film and then have conversations with their families. Like everybody has an Uncle Joe in their family who is like, you know, so like that brings up conversation, and that's what we want. We want to bring up conversation, and with conversation, change. So I loved playing Ellie. And aside from her being like this police officer who's like badass, she's also fun and like the little sister. So she's a little mischievous and, you know, knows everybody's
You don't
business.
want
And
to
that was
mess with
fun.
her. You don't want to
You
mess with
don't
her.
want, thank you. You get
You don't
that.
want to mess with her. Because at some point, the father, he goes, you know, the uncle goes a little bit, you know, and, and I love how you put, you know, like
Yeah.
you show him like,
Yeah. Don't play with me. Don't do it, you know? So I love playing her. She's spicy, she's sweet, and she's a woman who loves her family and loves her community. And what a great role. And and also great to see Tyler, who's a legend, improv. Like watching him improv, I'm like, honestly, him and all of the legacy characters, David Mann and Tamala and Bam, Cassie Davis, who plays Bam, they have been doing this for years. They've done all of Tyler's plays and all of the, you know, a lot of the Madea films. So they are just masters at improv, like you said, at comedy. And to get to watch them and learn from them, what a gem. What a gem. You have to be listening so carefully at all times because they are so free. They don't even need the script. That's how well they're like in tune with it. So for a young actor to be learning firsthand from them, amazing.
well, and you can feel, that's what's so interesting is that you can feel the improvisation.
We
You know, you can feel
improv
it's
so
improvised. I was laughing, so I said that was not in the script. That you
oh,
know he went
so many
on.
things were not in the script. It was crazy.
You know he
And
went on.
Tyler gave us that permission, and that's a dream, to work with somebody and a director who gives you a script and goes like, hey, this is the script, we have these guidelines, but I want you to go for it. And for him to trust all of us is like, thank you.
Well, you're welcome. You know, you're welcome. No, but it was, I want you to know, really, it was, first of all, you're so amazing in that role. You're so gorgeous on the screen, and your acting was spectacular, really, performance, because there was so many, I would say, colors, you know, of your character that you perfectly illustrated. Sometimes you go a little bit in the back, but we feel your presence in the room, you know. You know, and when you're there with your lines, and I love your speech and how you bring it out there, and it's really honey for the ears, really, to hear you. So it is really a pleasure. So I don't want to take too much of your time, because you know that's the thing with Jews. You know, we tell you it's an interview of 10 minutes and you last half an hour.
Oh my gosh.
That's how it is, you know. But so I would love to know what are your next projects before we start to say goodbye to each other.
Oh, wow. Well, I would say we've got season 2 of All the Queen's Men coming out. So stay tuned for that. And we have like a part 1 and a part 2. So that's going to be great to see. And honestly, I am just auditioning my butt off. It has been nonstop. So I'm hoping something amazing and life-changing is coming down the pipeline. Let's hope for that. But aside from that, I really want to delve into entrepreneurship. Like, let's, you know, like I love fashion, I love clothes, I love hair, I love all the girly stuff, but I also love education. So I've actually been thinking about like coming out with what is it called, like a course on transitioning from dancing to acting, because I've had a lot of dance friends reach out to me and ask me what I did and how to do it successfully. So, you know, I want to share the knowledge but also create a little wealth along the way, if that makes any sense.
And it does, absolutely. And I mean, I cannot think of a better how you say like a brand of makeup to go after you. You would be like their best ambassadors. Like your skin, your smile
Right?
is just
Let's
perfect.
do some. I want some brands.
I
I
mean,
want to work with some
L'Oreal,
great
where are
brands.
you? Lord, what is the brand of Kim Kardashian? Is that Skims? What is it? I forget.
Skims, yeah.
Skims, yeah.
Yeah, Skims.
Skims, hello, Skims, where are you? I mean, now she's
Come
She's
on.
busy,
Hello,
she's
Fenty, all
busy
of
now.
them. I
She's busy,
know.
you know what I mean? She's
I
busy,
sh-
you know.
I like him though. I like her. I
She's,
can't help it. I like
she's
her.
so
She's
smart,
cool.
though. She's
She's
so
so
smart.
smart and she's beautiful and like she looks like she's a really authentic woman who's
Oh, yeah.
raising her kids and doing her thing. I'm like, you go, girl. I like
I,
her.
I met her at the Cannes Film Festival, but she didn't know, you know, but I met her, you know, like,
You
I
did.
met
You
her
did.
actually with Kanye, you know. So
Oh
yeah, no, I met her,
wow.
and that woman is so smart. And I remember back in the days when everybody was making fun of her stuff. Look at where she is.